Noob's Journey here. Thought I'd give you guys an update on how things are going. Just watching Sweet Tooth and doing some painting. So far my army is winding down. I don't think I need any more extra purchases. There are a couple of bits and pieces that I'd like to get. Some AT guns would be nice. And yeah, some AT guns, Pack 40s, some more Hornets. But other than that, no, I'm pretty comfortable with how things are. I don't think I need any more Panthers. I've got about 12 Panthers. Recently, I picked up two more sets. So I got Clash of Steel, which I thought was a really good buy. And I also got the Berlin Training Tank Battalion, which is how I got these guys. The Royal Tigers or King Tigers. I'm pretty happy with how these guys are coming along. He obviously needs a lot more work. If I can get my camera to focus. They need a lot more work. They still need their filters and they still need washers. But these guys here are almost all finished. I'm really happy with how they're coming along. These guys are going to be... These guys are, I think, 10th Panzer Army, who were in Berlin, or in and around it at least. Yeah, and I've still got to do some more work on these guys. I've still got to, I'm going to do some quick shading and do the flesh bits and stuff and do it, like, properly. I mean, I've got all that infantry. I've got far too much. I just got it because, so in New Zealand, there's a place called the Bunker. And the Bunker is a factory shop that that Battlefront runs. And I think it was like, there's a box of those. A box of these is, I think, $50. $50 New Zealand, which is, you get four in a box. And I was also thinking about getting the Hummel, which is... Vespa, which is it's like a light artillery piece. I think it's mounted on a 38T, which is a Czech tank. And the reason why I got it was because if I got one of these, a box of these, that's $50, and I got the Vespa, that's like, I think it's like $110. And it's basically the set. It's almost like it's $30 difference to get like a whole bunch more stuff, and it's way better value to do it like that. That I won't need to get any more. I won't need any more Panthers. I've got plenty of them. I've got enough Yag Tigers as well, so I don't need to worry about anything else in that regard. I've got lots of infantry, and I think the final things I need to get are the Hornets and some Pack 40s. And after that, my army is pretty well complete. I played my first game with the Germans. I lost just, which was a bit unfortunate. I mean, hey, look, the channel's called A Noob's Journey. But I definitely learned some things. I played the British, and it was the... it's like I can't remember what the box my friend was using. But it was basically the Cromwell's... No, it's Challenges and Comets. And it's a very good box. Challenges and Comets are very good. They are very, very, very good. And lots of access to 17-pounders. Lots of access to 17-pounders. And playing them, you do get the feeling... Like, it's like the German cats, your Panthers and your Tigers and your Royal Tigers, King Tigers. They're not as invulnerable. Like those 17-pounders, if they can, if they start rolling hot and they hit you in the front, you're still going to feel it. They are very, very good. And English infantry are very, very good. And that's what I definitely learned the hard way, is like English infantry are very good. And infantry in general in Flames of War are very, very good. They're very slow, but they are very good. And the thing is that one of the things I've noticed about German tanks, they are very good. They are very good duelists. They're very good at fighting other tanks, but they're not good at fighting infantry. German tanks are not good at fighting infantry. They are rubbish at fighting infantry. And also they lack a bit of AA. No, I don't think my friend ran AA. He didn't run any AA, but I think definitely like you notice with these guys, like they don't have the they don't have an AA machine gun on the top. But yeah, because I was reading articles about how to counter these guys. Because I was just curious. I mean, because these guys are whopping. I think these things are like 18 points per model, which is incredibly expensive. So I still have to filter this. I still have to filter it, and I might do some like camo P dots on it to mix things up. So I'll do on the bone bits, I'll do green, and on these bits, I'll do sort of tan colors. And once the filters get on, I reckon they should look pretty good. I am planning on starting to paint some infantry. Like I'm starting to slowly get bored of painting tanks, but I try to keep things very simple. I mean, not simple, but I try not to do too many tanks in one go. Like at the moment, I'm sticking to 3, and I'm almost finished 3, and then I'm gradually adding a couple of bits here, like a couple of extra tanks here and there, like these guys. But yeah, no. So far, my army's going really good. Don't need too much more. And then I'm probably going to get some more terrain. I think that's what I definitely want to get to next. Get next definitely is like lots of terrain, lots of trees, hills, that kind of thing. I think, and because the thing is, at the bunker, it's like if any Kiwis are watching, it's 31.50 for some like for some trees. If you get the same trees at Mighty Ape, they're about $40 more. And if you get a starter set at Mighty Ape, that is that's a grand total of I think they're about $60 more. And also, I suppose this is out there for anyone who's playing Warhammer, is that, there are other alternatives out there. I mean, Warhammer's still fun. I still play a bit. 10th's on the horizon. And, like, support local, etc. If that's what you want to do. Like, I'm not going to stop you. But if you want to change of pace, like I do at the moment, like I still like Warhammer. I don't really want to put up Warhammer videos and stuff because there's so many people out there that do it. I'd rather keep my stuff to like historical games. No offense to anybody who's I don't know, all 13 of you probably not clamoring for 40k content. But I feel that there are a lot of people out there that if you want to change of pace, this is a fun game. You can basically purchase a starter army in Flames of War that's the equivalent of 1,000 points in 40k. For New Zealand dollars, not American, but New Zealand dollars is about, I think it's about $80, $140. $140 to get you started in the game. And that's 100 points. If I was to say codexes, battle books, whatever they're called, they're 31.50. If we were doing Games Workshop or something, that's like $99 for a codex, and that's about $99 for a codex, and that is another, I think start collecting, particularly if you go for an Age of Siggy one, that's about $280. So there's 2 starter sets in Flames of War, 2 starter sets, that's 200 points, that's 2,000 points. You don't need to be playing 2,000 points. I mean 200 points of Flames of War. I mean, you can if you want to. That's if you want to play really, 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 really big games. But most games are about 100. If you're playing, if you're paying $280 for 2,000 point armies that have a rule book and have all the models that you need to play the game, that is a really, really good deal. And like even bolt action, like, and another example is like bolt action. Bolt action is, this is why I think this game is so much, is in a way is superior to bolt action, because this same deal. One of a bolt action box is in New Zealand is about 210, sometimes, or no, actually more than that. The Italian starter set's $200, and if I was to say get the Russians, that's $230. That just comes with infantry and a machine gun team, mortar team, HQ, tank. That's what all of them have. They are all exactly the same. The only ones that are different are the German ones. Now, the problem I have with bolt action, and I think this is why Flames of War definitely has a leg up on bolt action, is that this game, it rewards you for bringing different things. It rewards you for having your army play like an army. Bolt action doesn't really do that. One of my major criticisms of bolt action is that, like, take these guys. This is the old King Tiger. A King Tiger in Flames of War is about 18 something points, I think. Single one is about 18 points. That's about, like, if you're playing a 100-point game, that's like just under a quarter of your army. That's quite a lot, but it's a powerhouse of a tank. It's a very good one. If you do that in bolt action, a King Tiger is 666 points for a veteran one. That's a lot. And if most games are 1,000 points, that's over half your army. And in bolt action, you need order dice. So if you're just running a King Tiger, that's over half your army, and the rest of your army is going to be filled up with junk, basically, because you won't be able to fit it in. That King Tiger will find another tank on the battlefield, and it will obliterate it. But then the problem is that tank that you've just killed, like, okay, cool, you've dispatched their tank, and you've still got to deal with a whole army worth of stuff. And your tank is not going to be effective at killing those infantry as much as infantry on infantry. And then that tank will get overwhelmed and your tank will die. At least in Flames, the thing I like is that you can get this and you can get a whole bunch of other stuff, and you won't be an idiot if you run it. There's loads of choices that you can do to fit one of these in, and none of them will be bad decisions. In bolt action, if you run one of those, you're going to find it really, really, really difficult to play, because you've invested in one model like over half your points. Like that's nuts. And that's potentially, that's very, very bad. With bolt action, you need order dice to move, and you like, obviously, like, the fewer order dice you have, the less movement orders you can do. And if you don't have movement orders, you're going to be outmaneuvered by your opponent. You're not going to stand a chance. And I think that that's not really good game design, in my opinion. I think that and definitely, like, it's not so much it's not so much I'm obsessed with running tanks. It gets to a point, particularly with BA, is that you want to see different units. You want to see variation in the units. You want to see different tactical decisions. Like, there's no point running an 88 gun. There's no point. That 88 gun will kill another vehicle. It will kill, I don't know, it'll kill a Sherman, say, for example. It'll kill a Sherman, and then what's the 88 going to do next? It's a light howitzer. So that's like an itty-bitty template, like about, say, that big, dropping on infantry. And it will be highly ineffective. So it's really good at doing that one thing. You've invested over 100 points in a gun that is only good at one thing and then can't do anything else. Or alternatively, you could get a light howitzer that's like a fraction of the points that does the exact same thing permanently. That will hand out pin tokens. Yeah, sure, it won't be as good as killing the tank, but you've got other things you can do. See what I mean? The problem is that it's just not, I think it's poorly thought out. The game should be like, it should not be a whole bunch of infantry, a tank, mortars that are inexperienced, and then like a howitzer, and then some other choices. Like it frustrates me. It really does. Like 6-pounders or 17-pounders should be good choices for you to make, but the game is just it just doesn't work that way. And I think that's bad design. In Flames of War, you can do 25-pounders living across 17-pounders. That's what they would do. Like, armies would have both of them floating around. It doesn't make sense to have a game and it's like, oh, well, you can only bring one gun and that's your gun limit unless you bring another formation. But then the tax on that is so high, why would you? So, yeah, and then my final point about BA compared to Flames is I will say that I think one of the big things I love about Flames is the era locking system. Late plays late, early plays early, mid plays mid. And I think that that's really good for the game because what it does is that it gives people choice, number one. And I think that it means that early war play, like if you want to play a mid-war army, like if that's all you want to play, if that's all that you're interested in, power to you, man. Get some Italians or Germans or Russians or Americans, British, whatever, and play mid-war games. No one's going to be like no one is going to judge you for that. Like if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's absolutely fine. And you can make all those decisions that you want to do, like as in like, oh, do I want to run anti-tank rifles or anything? And those decisions that you make won't break the game. Now, if you did bolt action styles, if you had any era can play any era, well, why would you want to play Italians? Like, why would you? Because the problem is, I like Italians and I might actually pick some up, but that's just a painting project. I might play games. I don't know. But the thing is that if I'm playing Italians, then I am going up against like Panzer IVs. I'm going up against Shermans, Cromwells, maybe some other tanks that are a bit heavier. Those tanks are going to struggle. I'm going to struggle against that if I run an M1441. I'm going to find it real tough. That tank is not going to do nothing to any of those tanks. And the thing is that mid-war player is going to get absolutely smoked. They don't have access to good anti-tank. They don't have access to like certain weapons that a later war army will have. And that kind of ruins the game. It's just like, well, you're opening it up, but you're also closing it at the same time because you just want people to play late war. That's where all the best stuff is. So no one's gonna. But then you also get the other problem of like you'll get people that will just be like, oh, I'll do a late war list, late war Germans, and then like for some reason you'll have like a Panzer I floating in there. Like, well, that probably never happened. I mean, Panzer IIs are floating around at the time in, like, you know, Berlin because they were so strapped for tanks. But it just sort of seems, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. So, so my second game, this was my first game of late war. And, and it went really well. It's extremely easy to pick up, Flames of War. It's extremely easy to pick up. The unit cards are brilliant. And the other thing as well, to let you guys know in terms of customer stuff, I'm not saying I run a store or anything, But I was talking to a guy at Battlefront, and one of the things he said to me is that they're moving away from the cards, in the sense of that certain units won't get unit cards in boxes and stuff. And that's fair enough, because you'll get, like, say if I bought a box of Panthers, there's a whole bunch of different Panthers. There's like 3 different variants of Panther. You have to get all 3 sets of cards. Then you've got to, like, it just turns into a bit of an admin nightmare. Whereas if you just bought like a pack of the cards, like the command, the unit cards in the box for, say, Bulge or Berlin or whatever, you don't have to worry. Like, those are all the cards you need. That's all you need, is just those cards. And I think that's good game design. I mean, I completely understand why they do that. And it cuts down the amount of bloat that you have to worry about in terms of just vehicles and stuff. So yeah, obviously it's called A Noob's Journey. And I'm going to keep playing with my Germans, get better, definitely would love to get some more games under my belt. And I had a really good time. It's a very fun game. And I definitely learned that, British tanks with their AT-14, AT-15 on challenges, it's tough. And when you're hitting things on 4s, it's pretty brutal. It's easy to miss. So yeah, no, I just want to give you guys an update. So yeah, just final thoughts. You guys stay safe. I'm looking forward to maybe crack-a-lacking on some infantry. So, yeah, you guys stay classy, you guys stay safe, and we'll talk again soon, hopefully later this week. Cheers, bye.